Treadhead's Tank Commander General Orders and Tactics. Situational Awareness. Your units are always active and observing, and so should you. Be alert. 1- and 2-man turrets, T-34-76, KV-1, T-70, Panzer II, must button up when engaged and shooting. The commander is also the gunner. Your situational awareness is best in your Overwatch gun/direction. Cover your flanks and stay unbuttoned as long as you can. Don't get surprised. If you see an enemy is going to engage you or new loss is created from movement, react with a situational awareness check to issue an order. Use the engagement play aid to determine the target aspect, number of D6s to roll, and modifiers. The entire battlefield situation can change in a split second, especially when a new line of sight is created from movement. Think ahead. The virtual movement markers allow you to predict where a unit will be in the near future.
So remember, your units are always active and observing. In a time competitive game, you're always active. You're not waiting for your turn to do anything. So you need to be alert. Use formations like an inverted V or a diamond, and have your guns or turrets pointed to the flanks so that you do not get surprised. Let's take a look at the virtual movement markers real quickly here. So as you can see with the virtual movement markers, you can see how far a unit's going to move in 10 seconds. So that's a way that you can predict it. So it's kind of like an active battlefield. As each turn is called out, the unit is moving to the next segment on the 1 through 10 that matches up to the game time.
The virtual movement markers allow you to predict where a unit will be in the near future. Engaged rear 180 degrees blind spot, non-open top vehicles, tanks, assault guns, and tank destroyers only cannot react to threats in their blind spot when engaged and firing at a target. Once unengaged, they no longer have a blind spot. Exceptions can react to ricochets using the 0 to 20 degrees arc units receiving a radio warning, or hold fire and track units do not have a blind spot. Open top vehicles, guns, artillery, and infantry never have a blind spot.
Let's take a look at that. So here's a situational awareness play aid. You've got your blind spot here. So as long as you're shooting, your attention is going to be drawn to the front, so it allows you to someone to sneak up on you. But if you get a radio warning, then you can do a situational awareness check using the front 0 to 20 aspect, because that's where the tank commander's attention is, and that's where he's going to actually be looking.
Spot. Tactical formations. When advancing and not expecting the enemy, move in a column. If expecting the enemy, advance at medium speed in an inverted V echelon formation to cover your flanks. If contact is imminent, use bounding overwatch. Keep your units spaced 100 m plus apart. Have a recon unit scouting 500 m to 1000 m ahead.
So normally, concealed units can't be spotted outside of 200 meters. So you have your recon units go checking out potential locations where they could be concealed. If you want to know more about tactical formations, you can just Google that, and you'll be able to find the real manuals that tank commanders use in training.
Unit order and act time tracking. Keep your game clock and order track current turn to turn. If you miss executing an order at your act time, you can execute it later if you are still alive. Player-generated delay.
Take a look at that a little closer. So this is your game clock or time track. As you see, it's numbered 1 through 60 every 60 seconds. Then you can move along in the minutes. So here the game time is 3 minutes and 22 seconds. And at this turn, they did a situational, unit number 8 did a situational awareness check with a 3-second delay. When the game progresses to 325, then he'll determine what he wants to do, either move or shoot. And if he wants to shoot, he'll roll a d6. It might take, say, 8 seconds. So he would move his order marker down to here and put first shot. So there can be a lot going on in these 8 seconds here, so you have to be aware of that.
Play the loop. There is no orders phase. Remember, in the same turn you execute an order or shoot, immediately loop back to observe the results for your next move or shoot order, the action timing and act time. Overwatch is the default order. If you are not moving, you should be shooting. If you are not shooting, you should be moving. Many experienced IGYG players to forget this because they are used to being told what to do and when.
So that's the whole point of the OODA loop and playing the loop. That's what you have to remember. As soon as you finish executing an order, determine what you're going to do next. So when you play the loop, these are the different orders that you can execute. So using the customized unit data cards, there's very little that you need to remember in the game. So it's kind of like menu driven. So after you shoot, this will tell you everything you need to do. So you don't have to worry about memorizing stuff. So new players are brought up to speed pretty quickly because they don't have to memorize all this.
Gunnery. Know your gun chart accuracy, penetration, and maximum range for precision aim is green, 300 to 600 Don't open fire at ranges where a hit will not penetrate. Use high explosive or white phosphorus if you do need to shoot. For tough targets, you may need to get within precision aim range or hope for a critical hit.
So let's take a look at the gun chart. So this is the gun chart on the T-34-76. So you have the ranges, 100 times 100. The blue numbers are the hit numbers for your first shot of moving and for 2+ shots at the same target. And here's your penetration. So if you see, and you have to get within 300 meters to use a precision aim, which is going to modify your hit location die roll on a D20 die plus or minus 4.
Deceleration and halting. Deceleration time to halt is 1 second per 10 kilometers per hour of speed rounded up. When decelerating, you can turn to engage a target for halt fire, but cannot traverse the turret or fire or react while decelerating. Moving at high speeds takes longer to halt and can be at an initiative disadvantage to halt fire first.
So yeah, think about it, the speed. So if you're going 45 kilometers per hour, it's going to take you, and you see a target you want to halt fire at, it's going to take you 5 seconds just to slow down. It's going to take you another 4 to maybe 8 seconds to get the gun on the target and actually shoot. So, just like in real combat, you're not always moving at full speed unless you really absolutely need to.
Advancing halt fire combined with shoot and scoot. This is an excellent tactic to keep the defenders under fire while advancing. While moving, tanks can put your target in the 20 to 60 degrees aspect of your hull. Then traverse your turret to put your gun on the target to engage it. Then decelerate to halt without turning. Immediately after halting, roll a d6 for your first shot action timing and act time to shoot and record it. You can snap shoot now or later. Immediately after shooting, no SA check is needed. Place a movement marker with the unit on the 1 to 9 segment matching the game turn and roll a d6 to determine your 2+ shots action timing and act time to reload and move.
So this is real important, and so this allows you to execute a maneuver that was typically used when units were attacking. You'd be moving, you halt fire, and as soon as the driver heard the fire, he immediately started moving out again. And while you're moving, you're reloading, and then the tank commander gives an order to halt. And since the gunner has kept your gun on the same target, the halt fire, once you halt, you can fire normally like 3 to 5 seconds, and it takes you maybe 5 to 8 seconds to reload. So you can do a lot of shooting in shoot and scoot in a short period of time. So next up here, we're going to be covering the different tactics in a little bit more detail.
Tactics. Snapshot. Allows first shot to shoot before your act time with a plus 100 accuracy penalty per second sooner. Use this tactic if you think your opponent will fire first or to fire before a target moves out of your los.
So let's take a look at that. So whenever you see any numbers that have this tan background, these are timing numbers in seconds. So with the T-34-76, once you get your gun on target, the player rolls a D6, and this is the amount of time it's going to take for him to do the fine adjustments, estimate the range, and shoot. Now, if it ends up at 8 seconds, you can do a snapshot. So you could shoot right away, but you would have a plus 800 meter accuracy penalty. So to take a look at how bad that could be. So if you're firing at 400 meters, you're going to need to hit on a 1 through 15. But at 1200, you're going to need a 1 through 6. So you have to weigh the chances. Is it better to shoot first, or is it better to wait? So that's the players are having to make the speed versus accuracy decisions in dilemma the same way that real crews did.
Side scrape. Peek around a vertical obstacle with half of the vehicle covered. After shooting, shoot and scoot in reverse to hide again while reloading. Only odd hashtag hit location are hits.
So that's where you peek around the building, so half of your target is hidden behind it. So when you roll to hit location, only odd numbers will hit, but if you have precision aim tactic you're able to use because you're within range, then you can modify that so you're actually going to hit the target.
Hold down. Designated locations on the map will allow a unit to be hold down, allowing only the turret to be hit.
So this is typically what players are going to do. I mean, that's okay, but when you're attacking, a lot of times you need to break through the opponents. So generally, hold down positions are going to be good where you're defending.
Precision aim. For ace and veteran crews only within the max range. The shooter must be static and the target static or have you in its 10 degrees aspect. Modify the D20 hit location die roll from plus or -1 to 4. This can help you hit a side scrape or hold down target, avoid a ricochet, or get a critical hit on a 20+.
Let's take a closer look at that. Now here's the T-34-76 at different hit locations. So the shooting player rolls a D20. So if you roll a 1 or a 2, the armor is going to be, you're hitting the turret, the armor is going to be 110, and the target player rolls a D20, and on a 1 through 2, he's going to, the round is going to ricochet because the turret's really small, and you've got a lot of narrow sides there. Now, also, if you got a 16 or 17, you can add, let's say you got a 17, you can add 4 to it, and then you can get a critical hit. So you're going to go down here to the critical hit table on an AP round, and the shooter's going to roll a D20, and these are all different weak locations on the T-34 that you can hit.
Known range. If a new target is within 100 m of your last target, consider it ranged in and engaged. No need to traverse the turret or pivot. To engage it, perform a situational awareness check and use 2+ shot reload action timing and the 2+ shots accuracy row on the gun chart.
This is probably one of the most important tactics in the game. Think about it. You're the gunner. You can see multiple targets. A lot of times they're going to be bunched up. If you nailed one target and there's somebody else sitting right next to him, you already know what the range is. It's just a matter of like about a half a crank on the turret traverse to get the new target within sight. And so you're using that 2+ shots accuracy row, which is going to be a lot more accurate as you can see here. So like at 600 meters, rather than hitting on a 1 through 13, you're going to hit on a 1 through 17. So that's why ideally you need to keep your targets at least 100 meters apart so you don't get victimized by the known range tactic.
Range card. Before the game, defenders can have the range pre-measured to easily identified landmarks and buildings or crossroads. Use the hold fire and track tactic and fire when the target is within 100 m using the more accurate 2+ shots accuracy row on the gun chart and not the first shot row.
Okay, again, this is a tactic normally when you have a prepared defense, you're set up for a while and you're able to actually measure the range to specific geographic locations. It could be a specific tree, a rock, a road intersection, or a house. Since you already know the range, the thing that affects inaccuracy the most is estimating the range wrong. If you know the range, then it's pretty easy to hit. And we showed what the differences were on that.
Hold fire and track target. Engage the target normally. At your act time to shoot, put your order chit in the hold fire box. As long as the target is in your LOS and field of fire, you can shoot in any future turn with no delay or penalty.
Let's take a look at that. So let's say it comes to 3 minutes and 33 seconds. Let's say you've got an anti-tank gun that's concealed. He's at maybe 1,200 meters away. It's really too far to shoot. So what you do is you move your order marker up into the hold fire and track box. So what you're doing is you're holding your gun on that target and observing him, and as soon as he gets close enough, stops, turns for a flank shot. Whenever that happens and you want to shoot, you can immediately shoot. There's no delay, there's no penalty. Also, when you're hold fire and tracking, you're not concentrate so much on firing so you don't have a blind spot with your situational awareness.
Rangefinder. A unit equipped with a rangefinder will take an additional 6 seconds action timing for the first shot. When shooting, use the more accurate 2+ shot accuracy row, not the first shot row.
So rangefinders are good. Usually over 1 second time of flight, which for most is like 600 to 800 meters. Below that, it's not going to be that big of a difference.
Moving fire, ace and veteran crews on flat ground only. The accuracy penalty is based on the speed and angle. Always use the first shot accuracy row on the gun chart.
So let's take a look at that on the T-34-76. So here you go. Moving target. So you look at the speed and then what the angle is. And if you're shooting on the move, based on your speed, you're going to have an accuracy modifier. So remember, when you're shooting, unlike most games where you have a die roll modifier when you're rolling to hit, we don't use die roll modifiers. We use range modifiers. An accuracy penalty is going to increase the range you're going to use. An accuracy bonus is going to be closer, okay? And on the range, you've got, this is for precision aim. This is 1 second time of flight. And over here, you have 2 seconds time of flight.
Suppression. Machine gunfire can force a unit to button up, decreasing their situational awareness, and cause a casualty or suppress gun crews. The CMG and main gun cannot fire at the same time. Suppressed gun crew's action timing is 2x and cannot pivot their gun. Infantry units have decreased situational awareness under small arms and artillery fire with firepower at 50%.
So typically in World War II, when a tank would come across an anti-tank gun, they would fire their machine guns at it because the machine guns is going to suppress the crew. Basically, what happens in the game is that normally an anti-tank gun would have like 5 crew members, most of them helping reload. You've got a gun commander, you've got the gunner and the loader. But when they're under suppression, the only guys that are able to hide behind the shield, because if you look at the anti-tank gun shield, it's pretty small. So only the loader and the gunner can hide behind that. So that's going to slow everything down. So if you're close enough, maybe you can fire an AP or HE round, but normally you want to start shooting with your machine guns, especially if you're aimed right at it, your bow machine gunner can open up on them.
Suppress gun crews. The CMG and main gun cannot fire at the same time. Suppressed gun crew's action timing is 2x and cannot pivot their gun. Infantry units have decreased situational awareness under small arms and artillery fire with firepower at 50%. Angle armor. Turreted vehicles angle hull in the 20 to 60 degrees to the target to increase armor and ricochet chance.
So we went over that. Now you can do that to the target. Now, if you're firing at somebody else is firing at you may also have your angle or armor angled. So quick recap, situational awareness, one of the most important aspects of the game. Engaged rear blind spot for tanks, somebody can sneak up on you. Use formations and cover your flanks. Unit order and tracking, keep track of that. Play the loop. Remember, it's always your turn. You're not waiting for a turn to shoot or move. So as soon as you execute an order, you immediately, just like a real tank crew would do, determine what your next move or shoot order is going to be. Gunnery, know your gun chart. Don't open fire early, especially if you're concealed. You're just going to give your position away, especially with anti-tank guns. Deceleration and halting. It's not always good to move at max speed. Advancing, halt fire, combined with shoot and scoot. That's the best way to attack. And then we go over all of the tactics here. So that's basically the Treadheads Tank Commander and General Orders and Tactics video.